Let's take a look at the global pandemic numbers now. There are more than 1.7 million cases of COVID-19 around the world. The U.S. is reporting more than 20,000 deaths, surpassing Italy as the country with the most fatalities. Today alone, the U.S. recorded more than 1,700 deaths. And in each state, the local governments are struggling with making decisions about schools reopening and church services on this Holy Weekend. Jennifer Johnson.
Today, on episode 3, I'll be sharing some tips on how to maintain good mental health. So let us resolve to make our mental health a priority during this COVID-19 and beyond. So the first tip that I have to share is seeking help, which is a problem here in Jamaica. Many persons, they know that something is wrong with them, but they are afraid to seek the help that they need. So if you are struggling with any persistent inability to sleep or eat, if you have increased your alcohol usage or your drug usage, if you have an overwhelming sense of depression, guilt, or panic, if you have an urge to harm yourself or to harm other persons, or an inability to take care of yourself or persons who are depending on you, please call the Crisis Center. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has listed out several numbers that you can call in case of an emergency. Your mental health is an emergency. Please use those numbers. Those numbers will be listed on the bottom part of the screen or in the description below. The second tip is to increase your social connection. Amidst the social distances, we as people, we like to connect with persons. And during this time when we have to practice our social distances, we can still use our cell phones, we can use our laptops, we can use our tablets, we can use other mediums to get through to our family members and our close friends. It is very important that we keep in connection with those persons that we love and care about. You never know if they're struggling with anything, you never know if they have any concern or anything of that sort. So please keep in contact with them. Third and final tip for this episode is managing stress. Yes, that's the big one. I know that stress is unavoidable. We don't call stress on ourselves, we don't attach it to ourselves, but stress comes. Stress comes because of various things, and especially during this COVID-19 crisis, stress is bound to come, but it's how we manage it. So we should be able to identify the triggers. We all know ourselves, we know how we usually deal with situations, so we should be able to identify what is triggering the stress. Secondly, we should know how to cope. How to cope is key in maintaining good stress management. Try to manage your worries by breaking them down into smaller tasks. So instead of saying, oh my God, I need to pay this bill, I need to pay this bill, find out how much is it first. Find out how much you have available. Find out, okay, if I need to set aside this amount, how will I survive for this? So break it down into smaller things. If you can't pay all of it, pay some. Don't sit and stress and send up your blood pressure and eventually put yourself at risk for mental illness over a bill. So break it down into smaller tasks. That way it is more manageable and you are able to practice good stress management. So these are the 3 tips that I have to share today. You can look forward to some other tips in my next episode. Thank you for joining Mental Health 101.